All right, you're welcome back, and we're still on our community development segment. And right now we are going all the way to Winneba, where a building collapsed on Tuesday. That's a very unfortunate one, but anyway, just watch the report, and when we come back, we'll be discussing about it.
According to eyewitnesses, the building collapsed late Tuesday afternoon, but luckily, most of the occupants were away at work, resulting in no injuries. Local residents were taken aback by the incident, considering that the building was relatively new. However, the Ghana National Fire Service in Winneba, who responded, conducted a preliminary assessment, revealing that the land where the building was constructed was waterlogged. Over time, the ground beneath the building gradually gave way, leading to its collapse. Assistant Divisional Fire Officer Grade 1, Ebenezer Fidazi, spoke to Citi News, providing insight into the incident.
When we got there, there has been a collapse of two-story building at that same site. And thankful for us, all the victims in the building escaped unhurt. But our initial assessment at the scene concluded that the site is a waterlogged area. That is one. And then they had built in waterways for a very long time. There were no access routes to the place. But we needed to park our car and walk for about 100 meters to the emergency, where the emergency happened. And it's an eyesore. So we played with the citizens that anytime they are putting up any structure, they are supposed to at least come to fire service for fire permit. We will come to the site, assess the place, whether there is an accessible route to the place, that in case there is an emergency, Ghana National Fire Service can come there and then effect rescue or help the victims on time. When it happened, there was only one person in the building there. She was able to escape unhurt, so there wasn't any casualty in there.
Initially intended to be used as a Bible school, the two-story building had a change of plan after the owner realized that the contractor had done a substandard job, prompting the change in usage. Some of the tenants shared their experience with Citi News regarding the incident.
I'm inside, intimate say, Bibi ya pre. I was here. Na me pie sa me behwe. Ti me pie no begina ha na me hu se pillar no e dwidwiri. Ti me gya ha na papa ne maame we omo frɛ me. Na me so daddy me wa ha o. So omo ina begina ha na hu se best 30 minutes krandu. Hu ansa ne na agu fo. Obi ani fi, me nkwa na me ofi.
4 to 5 no na me kwa adwuma na me nua no fra me say omote say baby amete no dan na abu de aba no sa na me kodu adwuma na me san fa ka ba hwe say ampa abu te me ba no omote ha no ba ko na me hu na me ka me bi say no say de ote sro no omo de omo pia san na dan no bu nte anka bishop gane ne dia na satan no si no na nko de ye Bible school ana ono we film nti ama antima ambaso.
The Ghana National Fire Service urged the residents to desist from building in waterlogged areas.
We need to get the qualified people, get the right materials for our building, and I think these things will not be happening. We are in the rainy season, and then Ghana National Fire Service is not only there to extinguish fires. Ghana National Fire Service is there to make sure that public places are safe for people to use. That is why when you are putting up a building, you need to come to Ghana National Fire Service for permit. Before we give the permit, we go to the site, do some assessment, and which accessible route is a key to that. We look at all these things before we give you the permit. And when you are done with the house, we also give you a fire certificate. For the fire certificate, we will come to the building, assess the place, look at the electrical installation you have in there, look at the firefighting equipment you have in there, before we can give you the certificate, which signifies that the place is safe for people to use. And at times, people do not do all these things. They just put up the building, they rent it out to people, whether it is safe or not, they don't mind, and then people will just live in. So our advice to the public is that before you rent a house, before you use a public apartment, make sure the place has a fire certificate.
All right, so that was actually a very unfortunate incident, but I'm actually very happy that there were no casualties and no lives were lost.
As the lady said, "Mite prep."
Prep.
She heard some sounds and came outside the building, and they were standing and talking about the things that they were hearing, the crackling sounds in the building, and then the building just comes down.
Right.
Fortunately, nobody was in there. We've been joined on the line by Ebenezer Dadzi, who is the PRO for the Ghana Fire Service in Winneba. Ebenezer, good morning. Hello, Ebenezer.
Hello, boss. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you.
All right. So which part of Winneba is this, collapsed building situated?
The building is situated at Atebu in the west side of Winneba.
Okay.
And you can locate the exact place using the Winneba Cape Coast Highway.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, how often do you find incidents like this happening within the Winneba township?
For Winneba, it is the first time we are experiencing such an incident in our municipality. This is the first time though, yes.
Okay. All right. Now, have you yet figured out what could possibly have caused this? We're hearing about waterlogged areas and so on.
Yes, we are now at the moment collaborating with the engineering department of the assembly to ascertain the real cause of the collapse of the building.
All right. So, as at this point, nobody has been injured. There's. Do we know what the plan moving forward is in terms of investigation, prosecution? Do you know what's likely to happen from this point?
Thank you. As you played back the audio, the woman was saying she heard and then she decided to move out of the building.
Yeah.
I think there were 15 occupants in the building, but at the time that the building collapsed, she was the only person at home at that period. So she decided to escape before the building collapsed. Yes, probably there might be some prosecution if we come out with our concrete evidence that this is the cause of the this is the reason why the building collapsed. Then probably we need the law needs to take its course.
Yeah. Do you? I understand that the original person who owned the building, who built the building, is no more.
Yeah, that is what we were told at this thing. Yeah.
I see. All right. So, but it will be interesting because if the current owner is not the one who built it, so then what would liability fall?
Yeah.
Yes, probably there might be some caretakers around. There were tenants in the building, so who gave the house to those tenants? There are caretakers around.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to hold them responsible.
Yeah, but a collapse of a building, I mean, it's the one who built it, not the one who's giving out the building for rent, isn't it?
It's true. It's true. We need to hold the one who built it responsible. But
what about the assemblies? The assembly who give out permits and they're supposed to supervise. The engineers at assemblies are supposed to give final go ahead. You know that the building has been built properly and is fit to be occupied.
This is a question for the engineers at the assembly. I am speaking from the side of Ghana National Fire Service.
Yeah.
That is why in the audio I pleaded with people that it is in the law, it is enshrined in Airline 1724. And before you put up a structure, you need to come to fire service for fire permit. We need to go to the site. We need to assess the place. That there is an accessible route to the place, that in case there is an emergency, we can come there to effect rescue. Yeah. And we look at all these things before we give out our fire permit. Then the assembly will also give you the permit for you to do.
Yeah. So I noticed that in the report, there's another building that's standing there now, right next to the one that collapsed.
Yes, it's an uncompleted building, right?
Yes. So what are you going to do in that case? Because that building also doesn't have accessibility. It's the same as this one that collapsed.
It's true. And at the moment, as I'm talking to you now, my safety officers are there looking for the owner of that property.
Okay.
And if by today we are not able to locate him, we will just go to the assembly, take the plan, and then search for the owner. We are using the plan at the assembly.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you, sir. I'm very grateful. Sir.
Okay. So we've been speaking with Ebenezer Dazi, who is the PRO for the Ghana National Fire Service in Winneba.